Player 388, also known as Kang Dae-ho, was introduced in Squid Game Season 2 as a cheerful and seemingly fearless Marine. His jolly personality, infectious energy, and easygoing charisma quickly made him one of the most beloved characters among fans. But right from the beginning, the show began dropping subtle hints that there was more to Dae-ho than met the eye. Beneath that happy-go-lucky exterior, there was something else, something hidden. That suspicion was confirmed during the dramatic events of the Season 2 revolt, when Dae-ho froze up during a crucial moment, failing to return with the rifle magazines. Instead of aiding the rebellion, he panicked and retreated into the dormitory. This strange moment sparked a flurry of fan theories. Many speculated that Dae-ho was suffering from PTSD, likely rooted in his past experiences with the Marines. The idea of a traumatized soldier silently battling his demons was compelling, and it added a layer of emotional complexity to a character who was already deeply adored. But then came Season 3, and with it, the truth. Dae-ho had lied about everything. He wasn't a Marine. He had fabricated the entire story to appear strong, useful, and worthy of an alliance with Guihun. This twist could have added nuance and tragedy to Dae-ho's arc. Unfortunately, it was handled poorly. Instead of deepening his character, it undermined everything we had come to believe about him. The reveal wasn't dramatic or emotional, it was rushed, and ultimately stripped Dae-ho of the weight and potential he had accumulated. Dae-ho did take part in Guihun's ill-fated revolt, and from the moment it began, something seemed off. His nervous handling of a gun and visible discomfort stood out like a sore thumb. When he was tasked with returning to the dorms to retrieve more magazines, he froze. He was overwhelmed by fear, and instead of returning to help, he chose to hide. While this moment made him look like a coward, it was also heartbreakingly human. The revolt was destined to fail regardless of Dae-ho's actions. Let's not forget, Guihun and Jungbae were much farther from the front lines than most others. Jungbae's death wasn't Dae-ho's fault, and the entire rebellion was a disaster from its very conception. All fingers, if we're being honest, should point to Guihun, the mastermind of the doomed operation. Season 3 picks up right after this fallout. Guihun, found alive and sealed inside a coffin, wakes up in a panic, haunted by memories of the revolt and crushed under the weight of guilt. He has a breakdown and must be physically restrained. After regaining some semblance of composure, he becomes cold and zombie-like. When player 007 Young-sik tells Guihun that it was Dae-ho who failed to bring the magazines, something inside Guihun shifts.
As soon as Dae-ho got here, he took the rounds, went to leave, and then just froze and sank right to the floor.
Instead of owning the responsibility, Guihun sees an opportunity to place the burden elsewhere, on Dae-ho. And from that moment on, Dae-ho becomes Guihun's scapegoat. As they move forward to the fourth game, the group walks past the gruesome sight of the revolt participants' bodies hanging overhead. This pushes Guihun deeper into his guilt and his hatred for Dae-ho, who can feel the weight of Guihun's silent, vengeful stare. It's unfair. Dae-ho didn't have to help in the revolt, but he did. He froze, yes, but he still tried. None of that matters to Guihun, though. For the rest of the season, Dae-ho's character is reduced to one thing, the object of Guihun's blame and rage. Then came the fourth game, hide and seek. Dae-ho is assigned to the blue team, which means he's now prey for the red team. And wouldn't you know it, Guihun is red. Dae-ho immediately tries to swap teams, begging other players to trade places with him. But no one agrees. He's trapped. With nowhere else to turn, he confronts Guihun and tells him point blank that he shouldn't be blamed for the revolt's failure.
We couldn't have won, Guihun. And it was stupid to ever think we could. God damn it! You quit looking at me like that! This is not my fault!
Guihun, in eerie silence, continues to stare him down, offering no reassurance, just rage. When the game starts, Guihun receives his weapon, a knife, and utters his first word.
It's all your fault.
It's all your fault. His voice, cold and venomous, sends chills down the viewer's spines. From that moment, Guihun becomes a predator, hunting Dae-ho with chilling intensity. At one point, he even mistakes player 197 for Dae-ho and nearly kills him, only stopping because 197 isn't the man he's after. This isn't just a game for Guihun anymore. It's personal. Meanwhile, Dae-ho tries to survive. He's wounded during a struggle with player 359, but manages to push him down a stairwell and take his broken knife. Limping and bloodied, he hides, only to run into the shaman. She notices his injuries and leaves him behind, only to use him as bait. When she encounters Guihun, she manipulates him, calling Dae-ho a traitor and sending him straight into Dae-ho's hiding place. Cornered and terrified, Dae-ho begs for his life. He confesses everything. He lied about being a Marine because he didn't want to be seen as a loser. He wanted to belong. But Guihun doesn't care. Dae-ho, however, manages to disarm Guihun and pin him to the wall, flipping the power dynamic. He screams that Guihun is the true cause of the revolt's failure, that everyone died because of his ego, not Dae-ho's cowardice.
You killed them. You killed them all. You're a psycho. They're dead because of you!
Guihun, unable to accept the truth, charges. Dae-ho runs, but only into a dead end. What follows is heartbreaking. Dae-ho fights with everything he has, blocking strikes using his shoe as a shield, but in the end, Guihun overpowers him and strangles him to death. In his final moments, Dae-ho gasps one final truth. It's all your fault. And just like that, it's over. Dae-ho dies a scapegoat, a man who lied to survive, a man who wanted to be seen as brave, who joined a hopeless revolt and was hunted down for trying to live. After Dae-ho's death, Guihun finally realizes that his guilt hasn't disappeared. In fact, it's stronger than ever. Killing Dae-ho didn't fix anything, because deep down, he knows Dae-ho wasn't the reason the revolt failed. He was. In the end, Kang Dae-ho was a character full of untapped potential. He could have represented the human flaws that we all carry. Our need to belong, our fear of being seen as weak, and our instinct to lie when we feel like we're not enough. But instead of exploring these layers, the show reduced him to a plot device, an emotional punching bag for Guihun's guilt. His death felt cruel, unfair, and most importantly, avoidable. Dae-ho's story wasn't just tragic, it was wasted. And that's what makes his arc so frustrating. It could have been something great. If you agree that Dae-ho deserved better, or if you just want to see more breakdowns like this, then make sure to like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts on his storyline, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into Squid Game characters and moments. Your support helps us keep digging into the most underrated and overlooked story arcs. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.